Good morning, everyone. This is Bob DiPietro coming to you from Pima County JTED. Today we're going to talk about, for our cosmetology instructors, we're going to talk about how to create an online test using Google Forms for cosmetology. I'm going to share the screen with you folks so you can see what we're going to be doing. Where are we here? Screen share. Okay, first thing I'm going to put up is something you're probably all familiar with. This is the test that Cosmetology creates from Milady website or their digital exam maker or test generator. This particular test was created by Dolores using the test generator. It's a customized test. She pulled, let's see, 12 questions, 14 questions out of the mix, and this is the test she gives to her students. So this particular test, if you notice, I changed the input so that A, B, and C are all in a letter. This is what you need to do in order to create an online test. You need all your answers in a row, in a column like this. You notice that we can't do anything with this test because it's in its own proprietary testing application. What we did after that is we now exported it. We need to export it to something where we can copy and paste off of. The particular format you want to use is the rich text format. So if you export your test to the rich text format, you'll be able to use it to create a Google test online. Now if you go, I'm going to show you what that looks like. We're going to go over to my file, and we now have it. It'll send it to your download file. You pull it into your Google Drive, and there's the test. Still can't really use it right yet. We want to use all our Google products if we can. It makes it easy. So what I did was, it's sitting here, and I used Open with Google Docs, which will create this particular test right here. And now we have the Chapter 1 test that was created in Google Docs. Little formatting issues here, but we still have the ability to highlight the question, copy it, and paste it. So now we have that sitting there, and what we're going to do is we're going to pull this out of the whole mix that's up here, because I want to be able to split the screen and make this simple. So I'm going to pull this out and simply drag it. Now it just created a whole nother screen down here, and I'm going to shrink it down so we can stick it over on the side. Now in our Google we want to create a form. We're gonna go to create a new form. We're going to create this form, and what you're going to see now is a way for you to create this particular test for your students. Now you can give it a name. You can call it Chapter 1 test, say, or we're going to, because I already changed this, I'm going to give it a 2. Now once you do that, notice up here it created this. This will be sitting in your, because we created it in our file, it's sitting in the Cosmos stuff file. So we now have another test. When you're testing students, what you want to do first, obviously, is you want to get their name down, and that'll be the first thing we ask. So we're going to ask for their name, and this is going to tell you what kind of question type, and we want to make it a text because the student's going to type their name in. We want to make it required. Now when you check that box, the student cannot submit the test without putting their name on it. All right, now that becomes a required. You'll see that little asterisk there. Now we also want to capture another bit of information, and we want to capture their email address because it's important, because this is all going back and forth in an email. So I'm going to duplicate this particular entry because I like the way I did it. I'm just going to change the name, email address. It's already a requirement, so now we have 2 bits of information. You can require a Pima County login to view this form. You can make it private only to JTED students that are in your class. You can automatically collect their email address to make sure they're doing their work, or you can uncheck it. If you uncheck it, you can send this to anybody out there. You can just link it out there. Anybody could take the test. But if you want to, I suggest you may want to try it with just your students first. Okay, so now we're going to start adding our questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize, I'm going to shrink this one down so I can slide stuff back and forth. Okay, now we're going to add an item. This is a multiple choice question. Notice how this didn't come out the way I wanted it to. Okay, we're going to have a problem with that. The export didn't work. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create a multiple choice question. We're going to take this and we're going to just highlight this question, copy. We're going to paste it in, and we now have a multiple choice question. We're going to have a problem here because I'm going to highlight just these like this for now, and I'm going to show you later off the video how to fix that. Okay, that didn't go where I wanted it to go. We're going to put it in option 1, and that didn't go the way I wanted it to go. So we're going to get out of here. We're going to go back to our main screen. We're going to see how this looks when we open it. Doesn't look the way I want it. So I'm going to go back to my chapter test and I'm going to export this over. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my Cosmo and I am going to look for that file that I just downloaded, and there it is right up here, and we're going to bring it over. Now when it's coming over from that download file, you're going to notice it's going to create a new test that I could probably use. Let's see where it is. Doesn't look like it came over. There it is. Okay, we are there. Let's see if that works. Okay, see how it is now? They're all stacked up. This is the one we want to use. I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to shrink it down, move it over here. We're going to go back. We're going to shrink this one down. And now we're going to get rid of that. And we're going to highlight all of this. We're going to copy. And this is where our question goes. Okay, now you notice it leaves a blank sometimes. That's it. You hit done, and there's your question. Multiple choice allows you to only answer one of these questions at a time. You could put some instructions up here if you wanted to. If you need to go back and edit it, you can just hit the edit button. And let's say you wanted to help them with this. See page 25 or something. You could put a page number in there if you wanted to. And you can change that, and you can do it again. Okay, add another item. We've defaulted over. Put that in. There's your question. We'll go to option 1. Get rid of the option because it's going to show, and highlight it. I just highlighted all 4, and it's going to drop it all into that particular item, and you're going to get rid of that. And there's your question number 2. Now, if you want, you can put a number next to it. Okay. So this is what the test looks like. If you want to see what it looks like in a live form, you click on the thing live, and this is how the student will see it when you send it to them. Okay, name this and that. Go back. You can put a theme in. There's different themes you can go through. You can. I like a simple theme. I like sometimes the note paper is pretty cool. And you can see. I didn't hit OK. So anyway, now how do we get this out to your students? There's 2 ways you can do this. Up here, upper right-hand corner, you hit send. And what I do is I store all my email addresses, my student email addresses, in my contact list under a group called 2014. Let's say they're all my JTED class of 2014. Here's my JTED student emails. There's 33 of them. I can ship that out very quickly. Another way you can do it is you can go to this file here, link to share. You can copy a link. You can put it on a website. That web, you can copy this link into an email. This basically, when you do it this way, it basically sends an email to the student. Student has to retrieve it out of their email. Okay, and once you have that in place, you send it out. What does it look like when it's done? Okay, student gets it. Student takes the test. It's time to test it. It's time to look at it. Okay. Let's see. We're going to go back to my Cosmo file, and because we created this here, you'll notice here's chapter test 2. This is the one we just created. This is the chapter we just did. Okay. Dolores and I did this last week, and we created another one. So I'm going to show that to you. All right. We've already sent it out. Okay, this is what the finished product looks like for Chapter 1. Dolores had, I think I did 12 questions. This is what it looks like. We checked them all so that we know who's doing what. And this is what it looks like to the student. And, you know, everybody needs to sign in, and they check the boxes, and you go in. All right, this is what it looks like on your end. You can access 2 different ways. You've opened this up, and now you look up and you notice you have 5 responses. You click on View Responses. And this is what we get. Oh, look, Uncle Bazzy took the test. Okay, let's see how Uncle Bazzy did. Marilyn took the test. Betty took the test. Maria and Dolores. Now, one of the things you do as the instructor is before this gets sent to the students, you take the test as the instructor, and you put in all the right answers, hopefully. Sometimes you got to go back to the key, put in all the right answers. So the first line should be the answer key, and you can call it answer key, and you can put a fake email address in if you want. But this is it's important to have the email address, because this is how we communicate the results back to the student. Now, to correct this test, we use a nice little thing called Flubaroo. Okay, Flubaroo is a script that rewrites it grades your report. So if you don't have this loaded, the first thing you do is go to Get Add-ons. Okay, you notice add-ons, Get Add-ons. Okay, it's going to open up, and some of the more common add-ons are going to be showed. You're going to see it up here. Hey, probably because Flubaroo is one of the most used scripts, quickly grade and analyze online assignments and assessments. It's got over 14,000. Okay, so we already have that loaded. You're going to click on that for the first time, and that'll be the only time you'll need to load it. I have Flubaroo loaded now. What I want to do is, because we've already graded this a few times, we're going to regrade it or grade it, and it's going to go through, and Flubaroo is going to do its thing. It's going to replace any grades, because you can allow the student to take this several times. So if they failed it and they want to take it again, you allow them. Okay. If you look now, the first step, it's going to tell you how many points do you want to give each question. I usually make it easy and just give them 1 point, and this identifies who the student is. Now, if you notice that this username is at the end, that's because we probably did it in as an afterthought, and it went in, and it always stays at the end. So it always says where you put it. It won't show it on the test, but it'll save it when you look at your results. So we know what our points are. If we want to skip, we could skip grading if we didn't want to give it. So we're going to give everybody a point for each question, make it simple. And now we have to identify the answer key. Now, Dolores put her name in. She's the instructor, so we're going to use Dolores. We hope she's right, and we're going to give her the answer key right. That means all the questions will be compared to her answers. Flubaroo is grading it. There seems to be an issue, and now Flubaroo has graded it, and it will create another page for us to look at. And there's your results page. I clicked that tab down there. Now you notice here's all your student names that took the test. There's all their emails, and even their username appears. So total points, obviously she's the key. Betty didn't do too well. We all didn't do too well. I kind of guessed on everything. But here's a cool thing now. This is the grade you would put in the book, or if you want to put 50%, whatever you're putting in for a grade. If you're using Power School, the test is worth 12 points. The kid got a 6. That means it's graded as a 50. All right. If you notice over here, these are the questions that fall below the 70% range. These are questions we would probably need to go back and reinforce with our students. Okay. So now you've corrected the test. You want to give out your results. You go back up to your Flubaroo app, and you email the students their reports. And what it'll do is whoever's email address is in here will get an email. Now, obviously, Bazzy123 is probably not a legit. And we will now, we can send it. We know that they logged in here, so we can send them an email based on one of those 3. Obviously, if you send it their name, it's not going to go out. You can include the answer key if you want. You can give them their score, and you can even give them a message. Hey, Mook, you screwed up. Do the test again. Okay? No, I'm not going to continue. I'm just going to X out. So that's the beauty. Your test is done. It's corrected. All you need to do is go through here now and copy all your and record all your testing, all your tests, all your scores into your grade book. Okay. Let's go back. I think we're done. All right. We are back on. Okay, well, great. Well, it was great to have you. I hope you picked up a few tips on this. If you have any questions, you know where I am. So happy Googling. Thank you.